Sup, punters and dribblers, welcome back to another episode. This week we're talking to the hottest man in rugby league, whether that be on the field, off the field. The one and only Braith Anasta, who comes to us courtesy of our good friends at Kayo and Fox League, who we thank implicitly for their generosity. We talk a lot of shit with Braith today. We talk a bit of NRL finals footy, of which all games live and ad-free during play, available on Kayo and Fox League. Talk about a President's Cup, which is also on Fox Sports. Player management, et al. But let's get into it with the great man, Braith Anasta.
You are listening to the Hello Sport podcast.
Seeing you have to deal with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no manager's ever had to be so consistently having to deal with, like, not only like just talking about their client, but it's like the most high profile player in the game. Yeah. And anytime there's any news, you just see all of them turn on you and you sit there and you're like, okay.
And I walk in at 10 a.m, I'm like, oh shit, man, I've got a long day ahead of me. And you got to sort of plan out how you're going to execute it, because like even at the start of the year, I didn't know I was going to be hosting 360 in January. Like on first week of February, they asked me.
Really?
I only signed Cam around a week after that, and we didn't know the form he was going to have. And then, you know, it's all kind of just, you know, picked up this huge momentum, and it's something we didn't need to talk about, you know.
Do you get harassed in the green room? Are the journeys in the off camera, or do they wait to ambush you?
Well, you know, I'm ready for it now. Like I kind of spoke to Benny Eichen about it before I signed up. Yeah. And like I go in there early for a reason, because all the journos are in there, Kenty and Hoops, and not all of them, but the Kenny and Hoops are there, and the producer and Luke McAveen, who runs the show there. So I get in early so I know what's coming. So you know, like it's mate, you know, so I can prepare what I'm going to come up with, or what I'm expecting, or you know. But you know, they're pretty respectful in that way. But as soon as they all come in, what do you got for us? What's happening? What's Cameron? Like it's just ding ding ding. But that's
stop.
Yeah.
Is it difficult? Like, do you have to have chats with Cameron about that? Like, because he sort of didn't necessarily know, or just players generally, right? Like, they don't know their manager's going to be on NRL 360.
Neither did I.
Well, exactly.
So it definitely, like, we got a good relationship where we respect. You know, he trusts me, which is, I think, it's the most important thing for a player agent. So, you know, I've only got a few clients. I'm only ever going to have a few clients, because especially now, I couldn't do what I'm doing and have to deal with a player every week, and they're signing, or you know, doing something. Mate, they've co-danging someone, and I've got to, you know, they're going to the judiciary, and I'm sitting there trying to, you know, like it's you know, a lot of people say it's a conflict of interest, but really it is what it is. And if you're honest with your client, like I am with Cam, he knows I've got his back. He knows I'm not going to overstep the mark. I trust him. He trusts me. And you know, I've got to put it. There's a balance. There's a line I don't cross. You know, and that's it's as simple as that.
I think you walked the line very well, though. Like, when seeing you on the show, like you can tell that you're trying to be as not even guarded. You're just trying to sort of give as much as you can without going too far. And I think you actually do. Like, I never come away from those things. I'm always like excited. I'm like, here we go, Braith's about to get fucking ripped. Oh yeah. But I always come away from relatively satisfied with the way that you've answered the questions.
Now, I'm always honest. Like, you know, even though I don't go like too far, I tell it how it is, because with the advantage of being in the hosting chair too, is you can actually get the truth across.
Yeah,
you know?
And also you can go, time to move on.
Yeah, which is what I do. It's like, as soon as I think it's getting to that point, all right, let's get to the next. Like, I may have a little chuckle, but it's kind of like I want to give the viewers, because I mean the idea of the show is it's an honest, brutal show where we don't all agree with each other. Like, I can sit there with Kenny and go toe to toe, but we'll have a chuckle as soon as we get to an ad. We don't take it personal. Yeah, it's like you blokes sitting around with whatever you got here. You tell it how it is. That's the beauty of it. Not everyone's going to agree. Half the audience agree. Half the audience think you're a Derek. You know what I mean? Honestly, like with every opinion, every So it's important for me to get honesty across and not talk shit. You know what I mean? And I'll give as much as I can, but it's all genuine. There's no bullshit there. You know.
How is does Cam ever tune in just to see that you're walking the right line? You know what I mean? Keep you accountable.
The thing with 360 is, whether you tune in or not, you're going to find out what's happened within a split second, because everyone just starts, you know, whether it's social media or text. So Melbourne are always onto it, because they're obviously worried about the situation, and you know, they'll message him and he'll ring me, and he laughs about it, and he bags the shit out of Kenny, and you know, they have a bit of a laugh. He FaceTimes Kenny when I'm with him and takes a piss out of him. So Cam's he's a larrikin. Yeah. He gets it. Like, even though the thing with Cameron is, you know, he comes across as a larrikin, and he's a bit loose, and we know that. Right? He's got himself in a little bit of trouble, but he's killing it now. But he's actually quite ambitious, and he's quite switched on. It's quite deceptive the way he is on camera, and the perception that comes across about him. He's very, very switched on. He's very savvy, business savvy. He's got investments, so he's all over that. He's aware of his image and all that, but he's not concerned. He does like. Sometimes he goes, "What happened tonight?" Like, what happened tonight? But we laugh about it. Like it's not something we take too serious.
How do you then work out who you're going to manage if you're not doing many? How many have you got, and how do you work out? Okay, well, this is something I'm going to go in on. Is it like there's got to be? You think they're going to be fucking massive?
Yeah, I like with the business, the Seru business we started with golf, but the actual league component, I want it to be exclusive. Like I want it to be. I don't want to be that agent who goes and gets 200 clients or 50, 60 clients and just rolls the dice and hopes 3 or 4 of them come good. It's kind of like, all right, that's who I want, and this is how I can help you, and this is how I can make you a better player, better person, and financially more successful on and off the field. So, Cameron we had a good relationship through golf. He loves his golf, and kind of just, he went through the last off season where he went through we all know what happened there.
Idea.
No. So I sort of went through that, supporting him through that and just being there for him. But then I knew the potential he had and the person he was, and we kind of, just organically happened. But, if I see some young guns that I like, I've got a few mates of mine I trust, greatly, who I think are the best judges in the game. And they'll call me, and then I'll approach or speak to their parents. That's very important. But and even the big guns, they're all signed. The majority of them signed. Cameron went through a lot of them, have falling outs with their agents, good or bad, whatever. So there's only going to be 1 or 2 every year or 2 that are available because they get signed up at 14, 15 years of age. And rugby league players are loyal, and so they don't tend to leave their agents very often, whether they're happy or not. Because they just are loyal people and they want to give back. So there's not an opportunity unless you're hawking and at the carnivals. Which all majority are, you're going to miss a lot of the talent. But I'm okay with that. All I know is the talent I'm going to get are the ones that I want, and I know I'm going to give my all to those clients because I don't have many, and it's hands on, which is important.
You said you started with golf players, so do you still manage any golfers?
Yeah, we got
Cam Smith.
I wish. What have you had him?
Mate, you've done pretty well if you had him. Mate. Good Lord.
That's the goal to get
you
a
retire.
Player. Yeah, exactly. But you'd love to get a player on the live tour, wouldn't you? But
Seriously.
Yeah, I grew up playing golf, loved it, but it was just a hobby. And I saw some young kids sort of struggling with finances and getting to that next level because in Australia, well, with golf, like it's different a league. It's probably 1 or 2, 3% of golfers in Australia that will get to the next level. You're not going to make a living out of it here. You've got to go to Europe or the PGA Tour, but then you've got Wassam and ING, like Cameron Smith's agent. They've got probably one person here working for them that's just looking for that 1 or 2, 3 gun player. So, but there's a whole sort of there's heaps of players underneath that just don't that have got the potential to play PGA Tour, European Tour, but they don't have the support. Golf's very much like that. So. We just saw that as an opportunity to kind of get in there and try and get those kids that don't get as much support to the next level. And we've done pretty well. It's grown, and we had Dimi Papadakis who won Vic Open, and now we've got Quayle who's doing really well, and Anthony Quayle, he won the Queensland PGA, I think it was, and then come 15th in the British Open only a few weeks ago. He's over in the States now trying to get his PGA Tour card, which would be huge. That's our goal, to get a PGA Tour player. But the golf's kind of, for me, was an experiment, a bit of fun, but also a huge challenge. The league was always going to be my baby kind of thing. I knew I could probably, give a lot more to the league, but the golf's sort of taken off as it is too.
How do you, how does managing a golfer here who's in that sort of second tier, what is your role in getting them to that next level?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's very different to a league because my role, or our role at Seru, is to get them financial support, which is very hard for golfers.
Like sponsors?
Sponsors. Yeah. Because they're not, Munster and, Addo Carr, Teddy, all those boys, everyone knows household names. Mm-hmm. You could be the 3rd best golfer in Australia and no one knows who the you are.
Yeah.
So I leverage my mates, my contacts, who I've known over a long period of time, who believe in these guys, and we kind of get them to sponsor our company. and then we finance the players.
Okay.
So we'll say, all right, you sponsor CRU, we'll put your logo all over us and all over and on the players when they play, and then we'll be able to inject some capital into that player from there, and then they go and play. So we put a support network around them. We also, you got flights, accommodation, you got to book 3 or 4 weeks in advance for golfers. You're traveling around Asia and Europe, and you've got schedules and tournaments you got to enter in. So golf management's it's pretty full on. It's a different level, and that's what we kind of give these guys to get that next level.
What was the impetus to start the player management? Like, when was that always a thing for you?
It wasn't. I wanted to coach, and then the Fox commentary kind of just went from one to the next, and I got to a point where I didn't have time to coach, and I didn't know if I wanted to be a coach.
Yeah, you're glad now.
Oh, mate. Like, I'm laughing now, honestly. It's I feel bad because we sit on 360 and hammer the coaches, it's a tough gig, and you got to understand that's what you're sort of getting into. But so the Fox stuff went from one to the other, so I couldn't coach. Next thing for me, looking after athletes or trying to mentor athletes or footy players is managing. So that's how it kind of started, and then. I hooked up with a couple of business partners from overseas, actually, Australians, but living overseas, and now it's kind of gone from one thing to the next.
Is it a difficult transition, going from footy to the commentary and then to player managing?
So, I didn't expect it. The player management's a bit of a curveball, but the transition, and I was calling like Holden Cup games when I was 25, 26. So I'd sort of play on a weekend on a Friday or Saturday with the Roosters or Dogs or whatever, and at the end, the Tigers. But I'd go and next day and call for Fox. No one's watching it. But it was like I did my apprenticeship, so I always knew that transition was hard. And, you get people come to your club, and the NRL do a good job with, coming out and telling the kids you got to prepare for life after footy and that. And I've seen a lot of my mates and ex-footy players struggle with the transition. I know you've probably spoken about that with some of them, but I just didn't want that, like I knew how important it was. So Fox gave me a good opportunity. I put a lot of time and effort into it while I was playing, which made the transition a lot easier and a lot smoother into commentary. And then I always wanted to host, which is kind of just got there now after all these years. But I've been at Fox for 16 years,
Jeez. Wow, has it been that long?
Yeah, 15 years. I think it's 15. I'm off contract now, so yeah.
Won't be for long. You managing yourself?
Hey, that's all. You know what? That's the most awkward thing ever. Mate, the boss calls you in and you're negotiating your own deal. I'm like, like, do I go high here?
You need to make like a different email from CRU and just start talking yourself up. Just going, Braith's fucking killing it.
It's such an awkward thing, like they go in and go, like and try and talk yourself up when trying to secure a deal. Normally, you just leave all the tough stuff to your agent. That's been awkward, but I'm going through it at the moment.
What's the go with, like, when you see someone like, and I mean, it's hard to know what the fuck is to believe within rugby league circles, but the thing yesterday with Suolii's minder coming out and saying to the Roosters, like, you're going to want to get rid of Teddy if you're going to want to keep Joseph. Who knows if that's true or not, but let's just assume it is.
Yeah.
As a manager with a player who has a minder who comes out and says shit like that, would you just be like, dude, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I would. I know Steve. I know the situation well. And again, being on 360, you get to know a lot. You get all that everyone contacts you and tells you everything. It's incredible.
Mate, they call you up and just tell you.
It's unbelievable. I'll be sitting there and Kenty's phone goes off, Hoops' phone goes off, mine's going off, and the information coming in from clubs and like people that shouldn't be talking and telling you shit you shouldn't know is. Mate, it's mind-boggling. It's such an eye-opener for me because I used to think, mate, is this all bullshit or what? Like, if you watch it, you go, how are they making this up? It's not made up. Like,
that's wild.
But last week, Buzz calls me. I shouldn't tell. I'm going to tell him. He calls me because it ended up being nothing, right? He calls me, and I didn't answer him. Sometimes I answer, sometimes I don't. And he always goes, mate, it's urgent. Give me a call. I'm like, my heart starts going, because when it's Buzz,
Yeah, it's something.
He goes, mate, apparently Hughes and Munster, they've been arrested.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, mate, no. I said, Buzz, what do you mean, mate? He goes, mate, I'm telling you, there's good mail out of Melbourne. And I'm going, man. I'm negotiating contracts.
Yeah.
Mate, he's done that well. My head just I start sweating. I'm like, this can't be true. And I got Kenty next to me in hoops. I'm like, I don't want them to think something's up here either. I'm trying to ring Cam. He's at a drum and golf shoot. Because I spoke to him on the way in and he didn't mention a thing. And I'm thinking, he surely would have told me, right? So then I couldn't call him because I knew he was on the shoot for an hour. He was doing a golf shoot with one of the AFL boys. So I'm like, how am I going to find this out? Then Rodsky, Melbourne CEO, rings me and goes, mate, what's going on? I said, what do you mean? I go, have you spoke to anyone? He goes, spoke to Jerome. He reckons it's not true. And I said, okay. So anyway, mate, but he didn't know either. I'm like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, I had to leave the building and just go for a walk for 45 minutes. I'm pacing around Fox thinking all the worst case scenarios. Buzz is ringing me every 5 minutes. Have you heard? Have you spoken to him? I'm like, mate, I haven't spoken to him. He goes, mate, the NRL are calling me too. Now all the journos, Channel 9. I'm thinking, mate, what's happened? Like, it's a Monday night too. Like, what the fuck's he doing on a Monday night, you know? Anyway, long story short, man, I was walking around. I sent him a text and he just had laughing emojis, Cam. I'm still thinking, but no, you got to call me, mate.
That's not a no.
It could be funny one way or the other. Like, funny, like I fucked up, or funny.
Anyway, man, long story short, he called me and just laughed and go, mate, that's a toss, and then ended up being it. But that,
just a complete,
absolutely made up story from someone that circulated around the game, and
jeez.
So it's pretty crazy in there.
For shits and giggles? Do you think?
What's
know. The sort of origin of something like that?
Maybe Melbourne had the shits, and they were like going to find out who. It's like, what are you?
You half wonder whether it's something like the Matty Johns show would do to you, just to completely fucking wig you out.
Exactly, the old stitch up from the boys. But.
If you're running an eye over Suoliti though, and the situation and the position that they're sort of in with Rugby Australia offering supposedly 10 million over 5 years. Yeah. We all know that Suoliti wants to play at fullback. Tedesco's there. Like, where do you reckon he'll end up?
With this, right? So, it's Suoliti too, by the way. Sorry.
No, dude. We
Suoliti.
Okay, so we asked this last week. We had Suoliti, Suoliti, and Suali. So I think it's Suoliti.
Suoliti. Okay,
but I don't know. We're doing it.
Wait, we'll have three blokes calling players three different names throughout games. It's hard to keep up.
I know, it's difficult.
Suoliti. Okay, so so Steve Nateski, he looked after him and was a mentor for him, but he's also a tragic South supporter, right? Like a tragic diehard South. So he's going to be better than Tedesco the week before they play a semi-final, knockout semi-final, and the shit that's going to cause in and amongst the Roosters, in my belief, is a kind of move, right? Like, like it's irrelevant because Suoliti, you can't say he's going to be better than Tedesco. How can you possibly say that?
Yeah.
Teddy's arguably the best player in the game. You don't know that. Whether their progression is quicker now, and he's going to be a rock star, and he's going to be one of the best players ever, you can't say that.
No.
And we don't even know if he's a fullback yet either because he hasn't played there enough in first grade. But I thought it was a bit of this, stirring the pot, because he's a Rabbitoh, and he's probably filthy too that he lost. The guy he mentored's now at the opposition, like the team they hate. So, there's a kind of, for me it was a bit, it doesn't matter.
Is that like isn't that kind of a bit grubby in terms of using your player that you mentor as a pawn in this game?
But my thing is, if it's a player that he mentors and he's so close with, why did he leave the Bunnies to go to the enemy?
Right. So it's almost like he's not really actually mentoring.
Well, he definitely was, and I think he still has a good relationship with him. But I don't think it's what it was, or else I don't see why would that have even happened.
Why
right?
would you do that?
Because he invested into this kid, and he would have been filthy at what happened there. So I know he's managed by Moses now. Suoliti or Suoliti. We're going to fucking do our heads in over this. But the rugby thing is an interesting one. We spoke about that on 360 because the thing with the rugby is they let these and I remember when I was coming through, they don't invest at a young age with the rugby. Like they won't, like the league does,
Yeah.
So they won't take a punt on a kid and say pay him $100K at 16 or 17 or 18
keep him in the game.
to keep him in the game. but then they end up having to do this and go pay $2 million a year for the kid that was already there. They could have had, you know. So it's probably something they need.
Almost like the Tigers.
Oh, let's not go there. So yeah, that's something rugby need to sort out. But league's such a incredible brand right now. Players will take less to stay. You know, it's just flying. But in terms of all of that, I think, you know, Suolihi's probably a few years away from playing fullback for the Roosters, and you know, Nick and the guys out at the Chooks will manage him appropriately, and he'll get there at a certain point. It's just when that is. But I think listening, and in all respect to Steve, because I get along with him well, Teske, I think he's a lot of what he says makes sense. You know, it doesn't really matter what he thinks. You know, it's the Roosters that know exactly how they're managing him. They've done a great job at the moment, and there's obviously a level of trust there that, and respect for Tedesco and the other guys and Manu that he's got for them, and he'll learn from them, and then when the time's right, he'll get his shot.
Punters, it was a quick break to let you know that all NRL finals games live and ad-free during play on Kayo, on Fox League. No better place to watch the fucking footy. Shout out to him. Back to the show. So it's Isaac Moses. He's like the player manager who's gone, but he's now allowed back in or whatever.
He was deregistered, but he's just got it back.
He's just got back in. I don't know if he has, like, obviously if he's the manager, but like when all the talk about Suolihi and all these like 1,000 fucking clauses he's got in his contract, is that as a manager something that you see as like a positive for a player, or are you a bit like it's a bit hectic, like you don't want to be seen as a player who's like a bit, you know, hard to deal with or who's asking for too much, especially when you're that age?
There's a few ways I look at it. You know, to have a clause in your contract to renegotiate every year, you got to be pretty confident in yourself, like to just even sign 1 year or, you know, whatever that is. You got to be pretty confident in your own ability. But you got to be a strong-willed person, because every year you're going to be negotiating, which can be a real headache. And it can, you know, can play with a player's mind and also their ability to perform on the field. You know, all that speculation every year. I mean, we're going through it now with Cameron, obviously. You know, it's not ideal. So, you know, I don't like it, but you know what? If you can execute that for your player, and your player every year can have the option of going somewhere else and earning more money, you know, power to you. I don't necessarily like it myself, but that's another reason that Wayne let him go, because Wayne didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know, Wayne thought, if you want to be a Rabbitoh, you're a Rabbitoh. You know, what, every year you're going to decide whether you want to be here or not? Like, you either commit or you don't. So I look at it that way too, and how the other players perceive that. A lot of success is built around team and how you perform as a team, and in the respect you got for the player that you run out there with. Every year this guy's got a different rules for him. Obviously, he's a rock star, superstar, and some players deserve that. Sonny, you know, all the greats, you know, they do live a different life, and they earn that through their abilities. But, you know, the really good coaches like Wayne, you know, I understand why he let him go. It might have backfired, but there's a reason for it.
When it comes to Cameron Munster and his current situation, now you can tell us where he's going if you want. You don't have to. But
Mate, honestly,
if you want to break it here,
At any point, if you just want to jump in and break it here, that'd be cool. That's fine.
I got something. I did discuss with Melbourne.
Announcing it on the podcast today.
No, they've given him some more time just to get through the finals, because I kind of said to Melbourne, like, with all due respect, this is the hardest decision of his life. And you want to get the best out of Cameron yourself throughout this final series. Do you want this hanging over his head while he's playing? I certainly don't. And he's got a big job now, especially with Hughes out last week and Pap's out for the finals. He needs to beat his best, or else Melbourne can't win it. So that they were really good, and they've been good throughout it. And so now we've kind of got that out of the way. He can just focus on his footy, and then as soon as they're out, we'll make the decision a couple of days after that.
How much back and forth is there with a negotiation like this? Like, we've done this before with like some of our sponsorship deals, and there's like a little bit of it. But if I imagine what negotiating a contract for like a superstar would be like, it must just be
it's crazy,
constant. It's
crazy. You know, it's an experience for me. Like I was kind of there as a player, but not at this level. But so I knew it from that side of the fence. Now from this side, it's crazy what goes on, and we haven't even got to a point where, you know, it's November and you can negotiate. You know, so there's clubs that are even waiting until then, but we don't even know if we'll get there. But it's it's been surreal because the goalpost moves so often. Like, you know, it kind of just, it starts with, all right, this is the offer. No, this is the offer. All right, you got a deadline of 7 days. No, we're okay. We'll back. You know, Cameron's flying. You know, we believe he's only going to get.
So, like, you'll be given the deadline.
Yeah, Melbourne will. You know, and in all due respect, it's all fun and games, and we've had some good banter, and it's been a good negotiation. But we've had 4 deadlines, and we just said no. We'll, and not that he doesn't want to stay there. It's just that it wasn't. You know, for him, and we believe the way he was playing, and you know the way he was going to play, because we knew. We just knew. Like, I knew the second he started this year and how fit he was and the way he was talking, that he was going to be his best year. Like, and I think Melbourne would openly say they underestimated that, you know, they did. And we've just backed him the whole year, and he's backed himself, and now it's got harder because then they re-signed the 4 guys. But yeah, going back, it's just it moves and changes, and then obviously they want him more, so they're moving prices, and then I've got getting phone calls every day from clubs that are just interested, like asking questions. And
is that fun? Like, there's an element where obviously I know it'll be stressful, but there's also like this is kind of what you got into it for, and now you got one of the biggest players, and you're like,
yeah, it's fun. Like, it's as a player, like you talk about that transition from player to. One thing that you just strive on as a sportsman is the adrenaline and that excitement, which I get through 360 and Fox. But I didn't necessarily do it for that, mate. There's times I think, what the fuck am I doing? Like, and you look like Jerry Maguire and that, like it's actually fucking real.
That's what I
it is like that.
Does he ever call you saying, "Show me the money"?
He goes, ring a ding ding. You've reached the king. He got the shits at me because he jokes and says that to me every now and then, that like just joking.
Yeah.
And I said it to Kenny, and Kenny said it and he wrote it in his article.
Oh, shit,
he gave me up, but mate, but even what's it called with the Rock? What's Ballers, mate.
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking that honestly, if you got to that level of like NBA and NFL, that's what it would be like. Like it is what it is. Like I'm like a knob sometimes. I got my earpods in. I'm walking down the streets of like Artarmon where we work, just like talking to whoever it may be, whether it's clubs or like it actually is full on, and I enjoy it, but it's been a learning curve because as I said. Start of the year, I was just calling games in January, and all I've gone from that to hosting a show and then having the I would say the most in-demand player right now in the comp.
Absolutely, yeah.
So and then trying to manage those two, and then it's been full. It's been full on. Yeah.
Well, it's been a massive year for you as well for that reason, right? Like. Stepping into, we were saying this before, if you handed out Dally M's for media, and we don't want to blow smoke up your ass, Braith, but we wouldn't do it. But if they were handing them out, you'd be our vote for, the most impressive, like, stepping into the 360 hosting role, which is, the biggest rugby league show almost. It's the main one that everyone looks to. It's all the breaking news. It's the shit talk. It's everyone going at each other. But, like, you going in there has been, like, a real breath of fresh air for the show generally. You say you didn't know about it until February? Was that, how did it come about? Was it always, I know Vonnie was on maternity leave, but like.
So Vonnie was on maternity leave, and Vonnie's our best host in Fox. But I'd see her, I don't think she was that comfortable, like with it, like with the actual role there, but she was on maternity leave anyway. And I think they were leaning towards Brandy. So Brandy was, I got told in pretty much the end of the year, which I didn't expect to get it. But I got told that they'll lean towards Brandy in November, December last year. And I was like, oh, good, sweet.
Were you interested in it, though? Like, were you like, I would do it?
Deep down, I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
But I knew they underestimated me, that's being honest. Like, I knew they just didn't have... they just couldn't pull the trigger on it, I reckon. Like, I think they had the belief that because I'd started hosting and they knew I could host, but whether I could handle that or how it would be in that dynamic, I think they obviously underestimated me because they didn't... that's not being that's just kind of the reality I thought at the time.
Managing yourself here. Yeah. You've been your own manager here.
There you go. Anyway, so I feel like a dickhead.
Oh, mate, not at all. I'm just taking the piss.
So then we kind of got to the new year and I didn't even think about it. It wasn't in my mind. And then I got a phone call, mate, can you come in? We're thinking about putting you in the 360 chair. And I'm like, all right, shit. Went in there, and then Brandy just signed with SEN. And I think it just got to a point where how was Brandy going to get up at 3 a.m, go in there and do his SEN with Vossi, and then come in and do 360, which is honestly, now that I'm doing it, it would be very hard. I don't think it'd be a hard year. I don't think it'd be possible, to be fair, to be able to do it all. And Brandy was second guessing it too, and I think they just come to the agreement that maybe it just wasn't going to work. And then that's when I've been called in there. So when they called me in, they said, mate, we think we want you to host 360. What do you think? And I was like, oh shit, I don't know. And then I said, listen, just give me some time, like a couple of days. I'll go talk to the missus, and because it's a demanding job. I mean, like, it's a lot different. It's not only time consuming, but like you said, it's the number one. Like, it's pretty full on. Yeah. So anyway, I spoke to the missus, and she was like, yeah, you got to do it. And I'm like, yeah, I got to do this. Like, it's what I've been working for.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I just got to take it on. Didn't know what to expect. Kenny rang me actually as well. He was a big supporter. Like, he was pushing for me. I think even that. Like, I think he's been the one pushing for me for a while. Don't know why. We've always got along well, but yeah. And then pretty much within 2 days, I said I'll do it, and then I was just shitting myself. I've never been so petrified in my life.
What was that like, getting ready for that role? I mean, there's a lot going on. You've got 3 blokes around you, big loudmouth journos, sometimes more. You just got to speak to camera. You got to do all little bits, read the teleprompter. Like, how'd you get ready for something like that?
Well, you know, I'd hardly read auto cue. You know, like so, and I knew. Like, even with 360, like, whether you love or hate the people on it, or you love or hate the show, you fucking tend to watch it, right? So even when I wasn't on it, I'd IQ it and I'd make, because it does give you, it sets the agenda, but it gives you everything. If you're a league supporter, it gives you everything. Like, it gives you all the information. You're not going to get any more anywhere else. So I knew it was how important it was. It gets, even when you're in the pubs, mate, it's on 24. It's like it never gets, it's never off.
Yeah, it's always on.
So I knew, like, you know,
especially at the start of the week, it's just always on.
Non-stop.
And I knew, like, I had heaps of messages of support, but I just the build-up was like, man, if I fuck this up, man, you will never see me ever again. Like, I'm done. Like, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, mate, and you know, I've already got enough people who just waiting for the, you know, just the knives just waiting. So I was like, man, I was more nervous than any other game ever, and also dealing with the journos obviously is intimidating, which I've got to know. See, now I've got to know them. It's all right, and I take the piss in that with them, and you know, but yeah, that initial week before the first episode was, mate, I'm more nervous before than an Origin game, you know?
Wow. Well, I guess, like, you know, footy, you know, this is sort of the new thing, right? So it's always going to be a bit more daunting. What you do really well, and I think is I think a benefit of having a former player hosting is that, like, you can basically flop your metaphorical or physical sack on the table at any point when they're like trying to talk footy, and you're like, yeah, righto, boys, like, you know, and sort of you can pull them into line a little bit.
Particularly with like criticism around halves. I remember like with you defending Kyle Fleming at the start of the year. You're able to provide a more measured approach sometimes.
Yeah,
which is good.
I mean, I agree with that, and
the sack flopping part.
The physical part.
When in Rome. I think it does help. I mean, because I think sometimes they're talking absolute shit, and I'm thinking, and with due respect, I think they do an amazing job, and I'll give them a rap, because the show, everyone plays their part in the show, you know, and these guys work their ass off to get stories, and they are the best in the business, you know. But when it comes to footy, and you hear someone like, you just like, fucking no. Yeah. And the advantage of playing and being like, because I don't go on there and, you know, I went, like, I've got wooden spoons and, you know, overrated and, you know, all this shit. I've kind of been at both ends, so I feel like I can give a bit of perspective when you win a premiership or Origin or a Test, or you're flying and winning daily M's to the players that are just outcast on the way out. You know, I feel like are just copping it left, right, and centre. So I would like to think I've probably experienced everything in the game, like good, bad, and ugly. So I can add value in living in those guys' shoes and giving a different point of view that those guys would never have lived or known how it feels to be a rugby league player, let alone go through what some of them do, you know. So I think that definitely helps.
Does it change your perspective on the role of the media? Players a lot, you know, will look at a journal and be like, well, fuck them. They don't, they don't represent the players, and they're sort of out to get them or to break some sort of a story. Yeah. But now you're on that other side. Yeah. Has it changed?
Definitely. I was that player.
Yeah.
I fucking hated the media. Hated them. Despised them. Yeah. I'd had heated calls with Buzz and Kenty calling them, and wanting to meet him in the car park, Wow. Honestly, I was that player. I hated them. Didn't want to talk to them. And I get it, because a lot of it is bullshit, but I think what the players should do, and I'd recommend, is, I do have a different perspective now, is get to know the media more and understand it more. Have good relationships with them, because they'll look after you more, and they'll, if you kind of have that belief, not even the belief, but if that's how you come across to, and you disrespect the journos or TV shows, they feel that, and they're not going to help you in any way. Mm-hmm. They're not going to definitely come after you, but you're not going to get the support that you may need at times as well. Like, you got to get the whole. You get paid to play footy. You get paid really good money. You live in your dream. But there's also some negatives that come with that. There's a lot of positives. There's expectation. There's you're going to get critiqued. You're going to get criticised. You're going to get applauded. You'll be on the front page for being the man one day. You might be on the back for costing your team a game the next. It's just the way that it works. It's the way that sport works all across the world. Australia, we're a little bit more, I reckon, a bit harsher than overseas. We're knockabout Aussies, but we are quite critical, I reckon. We don't probably put our elite athletes on pedestals like they do overseas. But you just got. I think I come to terms with it late in my career and got to know it working on the other side of the fence, so I get it now. But the players, if they understand that, would probably be able to deal with it better and understand more.
Just got to play the game a little bit,
right? Play the game.
The media is an essential part of.
Yeah.
How much of that sort of mentorship do you provide to the athletes you've got now in terms of what you've just talked about?
It's important to know. That's what I can give them. I can kind of prepare them for it. I mean, I was never prepared for it. But learning those lessons I did is why it's good for me to kind of help prepare, kind of be hindsight a little bit. That's kind of what I bring to the management. Kind of is what's going to happen next. If you do this, is the ramifications of it. Maybe we go this way, maybe we handle it that way. This will get a better response. Those kind of things.
How do you think social media has changed the media landscape? Like, when you were growing up, it was just newspapers and TV and that sort of thing. Now everything's filmed. Everyone's got a camera phone. Yeah. Nothing is missed, essentially. I mean, that was proved the other day with Ponga and Kurt Mann at the pub, it's a difficult sort of landscape these days.
I think it's a lot harder. I actually feel sorry. These guys, they do love it, but this is the thing. They'll critique. They'll follow you boys and YKTR and those blokes and they're on their phones 24/7 and they benefit from it too. Again, they'll get paid and but I do feel sorry for them. It's a crazy world now, man. Like the Ponga incident, and even the Dusty with the stripper the other day. Shouldn't laugh. Anyway, why am I laughing? So there's it's again, like the media kind of, it's similar. You can use it to your advantage, but you got to realise it's a reality now. So you just can't go and do what we used to be able to do. You can't go to even myself now. I know I love going to the pub and having a beer with the boys, and I still do. I go down to the bay or the pub, whatever, down near my local. But I always know that, hey, that people are watching.
Yeah.
And even me, and I'm a nobody. I'll see, the old video on me if I'm talking to someone or if I'm having a beer, and I'm aware of it because I've been around a long time. But everyone is always watching.
Always watching. Yeah. Would you say you're more recognisable now than when you were playing? Do you feel it more now?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The 360 thing, man. Mate, it's crazy, eh? I go to the pub now and just, mate, all the lads, it's good. I like it. We have a chat, we have a laugh. Everyone, it is definitely now. I'm more recognised now than when I played by a long way.
Wow.
It is crazy. It's funny, but it's definitely, yeah.
Mostly all good though, I assume. Most dribblers.
Well, I used to cop it a lot. So, honestly, I did.
As a player?
As a player, yeah, I did. Right. I copped it hard back in the day. But, yeah, I would say a lot of it's good now, which is good. But I've worked hard for it. But you still got your dickhead, but that's life, you know?
It is what it is.
That's the way it is. Why do you think you copped it when you were a player?
Oh, yeah, I look back at it and, you know, I had a real, like I was sort of, from the start, I was pretty public, like pretty, you know.
You were a rookie of the year, weren't you? You were obviously hot as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's,
people looking at that. I mean, that's part
tall poppy
of it, right?
syndrome,
Tall
right?
poppy syndrome. Look
See
at
a
this
young,
hot boy,
hot thoroughbred and they
fucking
go,
winning
nah.
comps, playing Origins.
Chop him.
Fuck him.
Chop him down.
Yeah, fuck him, mate. That was, I didn't feel that way. Like, listen, I don't like to, because I certainly don't feel sorry for myself because I've had a good life, you know. But yeah, I think there was a high expectation from a young age. I got to a high level pretty quick and dipped it quite a bit, you know, and just struggled to get back to where I wanted to get to. And I had a long career and I'm proud of the career. But, you know, there was even moments like, I was quite animated on the field. I challenged the referee a lot, and I had that wog mannerisms where I'd use my hands all the time. And you know, I was very passionate, but you know, I can look back at it and understand why I probably pissed people off or annoyed them, and you know, kind of irritated people at the time. I switched, because I went from one club to the other. I was a South junior and didn't end up get to play there. I know they had, that was a bit of a drama there with that. Then I went to the enemy, the Roosters, left the Bulldogs to go to the Roosters. They were enemies at the time. So I made a lot of enemies, you know what I mean? Just through decisions I made.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of put a few people off. But, you know, I think it's kind of part of it all. And I've worked my ass off to get to where I am now. And hopefully that perception's kind of changing. And that's what, when you kind of go on 360 and things like this, people get to know you a bit better too. You know, people are quick to judge a person or what type of person you are, and I don't judge now, in particular with the players, and whether you like or don't like their mannerisms or the way they play or act on a field. You kind of don't judge until you get to know the person, because over time you work out that you can get it quite wrong.
On the field's a different thing as well, right? Like it's just not a realistic place to be trying to evaluate someone's character. You look at someone like Cody Walker.
That's right.
Seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
But on the field, he looks like a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, see, I remember, because Cody's, some players play better when they're angry. Some players, there's certain ways that you grow up and you get to where you are for a reason. You play, that's your style. That's what you bring. Cody brings that. Maybe he plays better when he's like that. Latrell as well. When Latrell gets angry, he fucking plays great,
Yeah,
right?
he does.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Even when he's come back now and he's got a bit of it's not arrogance about him, but he just seems to be more comfortable to be himself on camera and talk a bit of shit. And some people don't seem to vibe on that.
That's what I mean. You got to be yourself.
Yeah.
You should never take that out of a player. And if you try and please the people watching, you're not going to. You really, that's not the right idea. And you got to be yourself. And I think those types of players are the ones that. Fuck what everyone else thinks. I mean, you're winning games, you're playing first grade, you're making the grand final last year, you've nearly won a premiership, you're in the finals again this year. Fucking, hey, do your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do your thing.
Get it up, yeah. 100%.
We were saying before, obviously, the reason you were despised as a player was because you're hot as fuck. And,
mate, you blokes, that post you put up, honestly, fucking hell, I got depressed. I'm like, oh, wow, when was that? Mate, I went to the gym that afternoon and I haven't stopped since. You've helped me lose 3 or 4 kilos.
Mate, you were looking good in that
more than
photo,
welcome.
and unfortunately, that's just sometimes when we're trying to get the attention of someone. We don't have to do it. We don't do it often, but sometimes when you're trying to get a big gun on the show, we do need to post a photo of you on the Instagram and sort of invoke the dribbler to start trying to,
Punter
tag
power,
you.
we
Mate,
call it.
there was punter power. You blokes have got
They went for
some
you.
major support. My phone was fucking red hot for 2 days. It was like ding, 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 ding. I'm trying to prep for 360. My phone was just red hot.
That's the goal. That's the
what I
goal.
like to
Worked
hear.
well.
He did well.
We're interested to know, though, whether you've actually ever been officially recognised through any channels as the hottest man in rugby league, because there are these.
There are
awards
official
given out.
channels.
There are official channels.
Yeah, no. I had back in the day. It was Matty Cooper who was the king.
Yeah.
Baz, mate.
Baz.
Baz is still the hottest bloke in rugby league.
he's doing
He
pretty
doesn't age, does he?
He's fucking Benjamin Button. Honestly, it's
We've got a few at the moment. We're obviously Manly
who have
fans.
you got?
Ruben Garrick's our man at the
Yeah.
moment. Real high cheekbones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's chiseled.
You know, when a couple of the girls in at Fox, like the commentators, mention a few players. He's one that's come up.
Yeah.
So he'd be
not
pretty.
surprised.
I'm not
Rubens.
surprised. Cam Murray gets brought up a lot,
Cam.
obviously.
Yeah. Cam's, you know what? I'd like Cam to show a bit more of himself. He's a bit shy.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a boy next door sort of thing, which is cool. Everyone's like, I'll be happy for you to date my sister. But I'm like, I want to see a bit more.
You want to learn a bit more. Connor Watson.
Connor.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice on the eyes, Connor.
Suali'i. He's obviously young, but I'm like, this guy could be anything. If he gets a bit of facial hair.
Plenty of potential there.
Well, if he thickens a bit.
Thickens a
He's
bit.
Just a bitch.
Sam
Pinch,
Walker.
rather.
A bitch.
Just a pinch.
Mate, well, Cooper, who trains the Roosters, Cronk, he reckons Suali'i hasn't even got close to where he's going to be in terms of filling out.
Yeah.
He's
Well, I
just-
mean,
he's
you'd
only
think
a
that,
baby.
right? He's 19.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when
he's only just
officially
19
reached
as well.
my-
He's just 19.
Yeah. In August, I think, which
That's
is
wild.
sickening.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Surely you got your eye on him as, do you wine dine 69? Where do you take a player when you're trying to?
Not 69. I wine and dine.
Yeah. You got a go-to restaurant.
Well, you might get more
We just
clients
want to
if
know.
you're sitting
We
on.
want to know that once we get invited with Braith to a certain restaurant, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, he's trying to woo us.
Yeah.
He's trying to woo us.
Mate, I like China Doll's my fave.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll give them a plug. But
Mr. Wong's.
yeah, Mr. Wong's, that's top shelf, isn't
like
it?
to go.
Anywhere Hems's is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got the
Apparently
Midas touch.
The stadium was grouse with the food and all
Mate,
that.
he's got a Burt's in there, for God's sake.
Birds.
Is he got a Birds at the stadium?
in the stadium.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I saw Toddy's. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw my
How is
missus.
that? They got the restaurant inside. I haven't been there yet.
There's like a little restaurant at least at the
Yeah.
back of the members. There's a little restaurant there. Yeah.
I was even sitting at a point where you can just like do the QR code scan and they bring it to you where you're sitting. I was like,
that's
are
top.
you kidding me?
That's the VIP
This is-
section. You
Well,
sit
yeah, this
with
was in-
Buzz.
this was
You
in
and Buzz
members.
sitting together.
Well, this was in members. Not my own though. I was borrowing a ticket. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, our little secret, mate.
Yeah. All right, Braith, on to a little finals footy. As we said at the start, all games live and ad-free during play on Kayo, on Fox League. Some predictions, I guess. You know, you saw someone like the Raiders just scrape in. Penrith are obviously hot as hell.
Yeah.
Who's next after Penrith?
Roosters.
Roosters, even with the Joey Manu injury.
Yeah, because they got Tupou and Suali'i to come back in, which strengthens their edge. Manu, is he definitely out the whole year?
They
Well,
said
they're
it's
thinking maybe the grand final. He might be back if they were to make it.
I think they can get there without him. I was looking through the teams yesterday. I just think, I'm not sure on Cronulla because Cronulla, they've won 11 out of the last 12. But they've had a soft run in. Like I think it was Newcastle, Tigers. I don't want to say Manly, but Manly were one of them.
Oh, fuck.
a few weeks
Well,
ago.
Mate, we'll
Manly
argue.
got
Sorry, boys.
Manly got soft.
Yeah,
that's the
Manly-
reality.
only the last few weeks.
Manly got
I ain't talking the last
flaccid.
few weeks.
Manly got
We went-
flaccid.
I know,
We
sorry,
went
boys, I
down.
apologise in
Yeah, no,
advance,
that's
but they've
okay.
had a bit of a soft run in. So I worry about that, whether they can go all the way to the grand final. Para have really turned into they're in the box seat. If they can put up a fight this week against Penrith and kind of who knows, they might be able to beat them, but they'll get another shot at it. But I'm kind of ruling teams out. I think Sharks, great year, but I'm not sure they can win the comp, especially what I've seen the last few weeks.
Yeah, there's someone was telling me a stat the other day as well. I think they've lost to Canberra twice this year. They've lost to Panthers twice. Storm.
Have they had a good draw or something?
They must have had
Yeah,
a good
it
draw
feels like
because they've
they-
come second. They've lost to some losses to big sides.
They feel like they don't have the next level
Yeah.
to like whatever their final series requires. It's like when it gets really hectic.
reached
that
their
they-
cap right, I think, right now.
Yeah.
So-
Cows, I would say, seem similar.
Similar. I think the Cows are similar, but they're playing each other, right? So that's going to be. It's a tough game to pick. Probably the home ground advantage. You'd lean towards the Sharks, but the Cows, I think, are running out of gas too. Dearden's back from his ball breakage.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're. I wouldn't say you're back. I think you probably need a bit more time before I
Did
do
I
particularly.
actually? Todd Payton said he'd cut it off.
I know, dude.
if he was going to miss the
Fuck.
finals,
Yeah,
he said
dude,
he'd cut
he's
it
gonna
off.
cut it off.
Yeah.
No,
What the
that's a
fuck?
toss.
Mate, seriously.
Yeah, would you?
Yeah.
No.
that's
Or do you say that after the fact?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you say it once your nut's been cleared for
no
sure.
one's cut it. Yeah. Anyway, so you eliminate those two.
Would you eliminate? I know Munster's your guy, so we can, pretend that.
No, I'll tell the truth. So
They're
nah.
fucking not. They're not.
Yeah,
gonna
I
do
don't
it,
think
are they?
so. No, they're
Too many injuries, it seems. They
yeah,
don't
too
have,
many
like-
injuries. To win kind of 3 in a row the way they're playing. Jerome Hughes comes back. It makes them a different team, but I just don't think they've got it to win the comp. Melbourne. I don't. Again, you got to produce at a high level for 3 games pretty much in a row to win it. I don't think Melbourne will win it either. Yeah.
Pap out, Jerome, he's been in and out. Like, how is he?
They've just been like even moving Cameron to fullback, like he's trying to learn how he can defend at fullback but still have the same impact as in attack, and get his touches up, which he got up last week. But that dynamic there, they've changed the spine around so much. That's why if Jerome comes back in, they're still going to have Cameron at fullback and Nick Meaney, who's not really a 5'8", you know what I mean? So he's doing a good job, like a solid job, but you couldn't see that winning a comp.
No.
You know what I mean? They could prove me wrong, but I don't think they're at the top of the list at all.
So at this stage, 3 of the top 4, I think, we're all sort of in a relative agreement that there's no they're not likely.
Yeah.
It's kind of, outside of Penrith, though, it's kind of is the Roosters. Hey, South,
South is, again, can South, with Cook and Murray back, they're a different team. Like Cook and Murray, they start their attack. So Cook gets out, Murray gets that, leg speed, footwork, quick play the ball. Then Cook jumps out, he hits Walker, Ilias, or Latrell. Whatever it is, that's kind of the domino effect. South are playing their best with Cook and Murray playing their best. So they're a different team this week, and they're a different team in the finals with those 2 guys back. So that brings them into the ball game. When you've got Latrell, and if Latrell can bring out that inner beast that he's got, then they can win any game. They really can. South, probably, I think I'd have them ahead of Melbourne, but similar to sort of Parramatta around that level. That they can possibly do it, but it'd have to be a Herculean effort, I reckon.
We're of the opinion that the Eels won't win a comp until the sun explodes, which is about 5 billion-ish years, something like that, give or take. Do you think, if you're running an eye over them this year, have they got the cattle to win a comp?
I think they've got the cattle. It's whether they've got the self-belief there. They have the ability to just I don't know, just kind of, I'm trying to find the word, capitulate.
Yeah. Shit the bed.
Shit the bed in the big at the most important times. And when you're, we've all been through it. When that's in your own head, like a lot of sportsmen go through it, but as a team, it's always there. It's like they're getting the monkey off the back. Like, I have no doubt they can do it, but in those big moments, if it's a tight game or they start to lose a game they should win, they, ultimately they're in the back of their mind is, we've been here before, don't fuck up, don't do it again, instead of what's next, how are we going to win? It's that mindset of actually going backwards and going to that place you shouldn't go to, you second guess. And in league, you can't second guess. Like, you can see their hesitation sometimes, Parramatta, with moments and big moments in games they need to ice or execute. Whereas the teams like Melbourne and South and East and Penrith, because they've been there and done it, and they've got players in those key positions that have achieved everything, they don't hesitate in those big moments. They know they've done it. They've visualised it. They've seen it. They've acted on it. Whereas the Para guys haven't quite done it yet. So they need to prove to themselves and their teammates that they can kind of overcome it. So that it's like we're all sitting back watching, a movie, and are they going to Are they going to be the heroes, or are they going to do the same shit again?
They're going to do the same shit again. That's our tip. Hate Parramatta. They'll do the same shit again. As a manager of Lockie Ilias, seeing the way his season's gone, where came in, everyone was sort of giving shit to South about like how do you let Reynolds go? You've got the pressure on the new kid in, new half. They were going real bad at the start, losing the Broncos and everything was going on. But then he got dropped in a game where you could argue it wasn't necessarily his fault.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But to see him sort of, I don't know, like I guess make quite a good fist of it this year, and he hasn't been like you wouldn't call him Rookie of the Year, but there's almost a benefit to not being spoken about. And that he's just getting the job done and doing it. Yeah,
I'm being proud of him. That's the type of person he is. He's really a low key. And he's done a solid job this year. He really has. He's had a lot of pressure on him, like you said, with the Reynolds stuff, and South got heavily criticised over it, and a lot saying that it was the worst decision they've ever made. And And, Reynolds has had a great year in Brizzy too. So, and if you look at it and if he was in the team, who knows, because he's a great player. But South had to make a call there, he wanted 800 for 3 years and he missed four or 5 games this year through injury, all that sort of stuff. So all that put more pressure on Lockie, but he's quite a humble kid who just works hard. The players love him. He's in his first year as a 7 at a prestigious club who lost arguably the best sentence ever, 7 that's played for the club. He had a lot on his plate, and I'm proud of the way he's handled it. He hasn't got it, but he's helped get the team to the finals. Like you said, he's been good without being great. He got Rookie of the Year for South. He's got a lot of improvement in him, Lockie. I think he's on the right track. He's got big personalities around him, so he's trying to manage that, with Cody and Latrell. But I think it's definitely he's had a good year, and I'm looking forward to the next few years ahead for him.
I want to talk a little bit about golf. We firstly appreciate your time because, as we said, you've got a busy life these days. But, you're obviously a mad keen golfer. You can see some of probably the most unused golf clubs in golfing history over there, collecting dust.
They're dinosaurs.
Ornamental,
They are old.
But you like the Manly golf bags?
Can you see that?
They're nice, aren't they?
Touch of class.
That is good, very
touch
good.
of class.
Yeah. Who gave you that?
Some dribbler sent them in.
Yeah, they do.
Actually, before I get to the golf quickly, thoughts on Manly. Are we crazy to think that Manly should not be sacking fucking Des Hasler?
I haven't read the paper today.
Oh, it's all in there today.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to get it on the way in. I forgot. So what are they saying?
Mate, they're basically saying that there's infighting, factional infighting. The Fultons and Des are at odds. I think maybe the new CEO is like, we want to change some of your support staff, and then Des is like, well, I'll fucking quit.
Yeah.
Trebojevic is on the
what's
outer.
around them, because they're the most important, right?
Yeah.
The Trebojevics, they're the Manly Seagulls, right?
Yeah.
They're the core. So I'm here. There's rumours that they're off with DC. Is that bullshit?
So I mean, the quotes from Tommy in the paper were like, "We don't have a bad professional relationship." Like, it was kind of worded a bit like where he's going.
he said that their relationship's professional, that you don't get along with everyone in the side, and that there's no issues at all.
Yeah.
But I'm reading that, it's not like they're best mates or anything.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will. Then you're hearing that. I mean, Tom basically said, look, if Des leaves and
Well, yeah, there was something about like, would you ask for a lease? And he goes, what? We've got Des as
if
coach.
Des is here, then no.
No. So, like, I mean, if Des hasn't lost the players, and again, I'm basically just trying to get you to agree with me here, bro. If Des hasn't lost the players, and I don't think personally you can blame him for the way the year's gone, given the injuries and the shit fight that we had. Like, you've had no one from the club really come out and own that either.
At all. They threw him
Except
under the
him.
bus.
They threw him under the... But that's what I mean, though, right? From, like, the business side of things to own
I don't think there's any upside in getting rid of Des right now,
the
because
fuck's
who are you going to
coming
get anyway? But, like, Des is I'm not saying that he disrespecting Des, but there's no better option right now. He is heart and soul of Manly. Like, they've had a bit of a tumultuous year there, obviously with injuries, but then also with the Pride jersey stuff. And again, that hurt. That was a shit fight that shouldn't have happened, the whole thing. But then they went backwards after that. But I just don't see any upside in getting rid of Des. There is, I hear the Fultons and all of that. They're quite strong and powerful people and have been a long time there at Manly and don't necessarily get along with everyone at the club. I don't know it in detail, but I think there is a bit of a fracture there that behind the scenes. I don't think it's actually the playing group and Des so much. It's more
all the factional sort of...
Yeah, that whole Pride thing and how they had to front up and Des had to read that fucking 10-minute...
Quoting Gandhi and shit.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever fucking watched as well. That was bizarre.
I know. And he did well, considering it was thrust into it. But you're like, what the fuck?
When Gandhi came out, gee God.
Yeah, Gandhi and professors and all this stuff.
I was just tripping over that.
Yeah,
what was going on here?
That was bizarre.
Yeah, but I think it's sort of showed us there's a bigger problem there maybe.
Yeah.
At the
How
top.
much do things like that affect the playing group? Like when you've got those things going on around you, but it's not necessarily... it's not necessarily the playing group specifically. Like, do you guys hear a lot of that sort of stuff?
You don't generally don't. Like, as a playing group, there could be board level discussions or whatever. You kind of don't. You turn up, you train, you hang out, and you play. You don't get involved in all that. But if it does start hitting the playing group, like it seems like it may be at the moment, that's a big issue because that means there's people talking. There's probably board members and coaches ringing players, and then players disagreeing with other players because, so there's a lot of shit being spun, and that's when it starts getting out of control as it seems to be now. And if you listen to the media, and if, it could be speculation, might not be true, but then players start ringing it does start, infiltrating the playing group. But often it's not for a long, that's when it's sort of at a breaking point, but generally you don't get involved in all that at all.
Yeah.
How much weight do you think Tom and Jake could throw around if push came to shove? If they were like, well, we're going to get rid of this, we're thinking of getting Des, and they go, well, we're not re-signing.
No one would turn up, honestly. Yeah. They are the heart and soul, and they're the future because not only are they guns, but they're amazing human beings who have that's what you want to build a club around. If you lost them two, mate, what a Manly. Really at the moment, where would you even start? They could go in and make the call themselves. Honestly, they'd have the power to go, no, this is what's happening. This is what we believe, because they're just so genuine human beings, and they transform that onto the field, so that they're consistent performers too. Yeah. So you listen to them. I'd be getting them in. If I owned Manly, I'm going, what do we do?
It's a dream of ours one day.
You'll get there, boys.
What do you do though obviously in Manly's situation to have two players like that are of high moral standing is great. What about with clubs where maybe your big dick swingers are not necessarily, not even that they're bad people, but maybe they're not the people you want to be able to wield that much power? That's a difficult place to be, right?
Yeah, that's a problem. You can be a big dick swinger, but you got to get the DNA of the club. You got to understand what's in the best interest of the club. Where you made your money, and may not be you might have been great at that, but doesn't mean you're going to be great at running a club or having an input at a club. It can often go the opposite, which we've seen with clubs who get these guys come in with lots of money and making the decisions. They're not always the right people to make those decisions. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like Politis, he's got the best interest of the club. He's got all the money in the world, but he's got the best interest of the club, and he puts trust into Robbo and the guys around him to give him that information as to what the best decisions are at any given time. I think Laundy's doing a good job there at the Bulldogs, and he's with Gus, so they've got a good relationship. And Laundy's obviously got the power and the ability to financially help, and Gus has got the brains. So if you can get that combination right, they're the best clubs or best teams, because they've got that power and that good mix there. And there's clubs, obviously the Tigers have got it wrong. There's clubs that just get it wrong and just make decisions based on...
Haven't they got it wrong?
Just here's all the money, but...
Do you go and delete that part of your career from Wikipedia?
Mate,
I you just take that year or two out.
I actually retired in 2010.
I think they do too, mind you. So it's a bit of both. But Tigers fans hate me, because not only did I kick a field goal to get them out of the finals,
I was at that game, great.
But
game,
not only that, then I signed with the club and gave them nothing. So they fucking hate me. So I get that. So they think that I've got it in for them too, because when I left there, right, I was quite critical because I didn't quite get. I won't go into detail, but I had a third party. I didn't get paid, so I was on fuck all there, and I didn't. So I left on bad terms, right? But I also highlighted the club was 10 years behind any other club, like even at that time. So they were behind, I'd been at the Roosters and Bulldogs, so I knew I remember when I went there, I was like, wow, this place is at every level. Is just so far behind.
Is that kind of disheartening?
Yeah, man.
I
signed. I've told the story before, but Sheensy rings me and goes, mate, I want you to come to the Tigers. I'm like, what for? He goes, I just need some leadership, and Benji and Robbie at the time. There's a bit going on with the side. This is your role. Come here specifically, and I trusted him as the Australian coach. I said, I got along with him. So I just took the punt, and he got sacked a month later.
Oh God, so, terrific!
Who was your coach then that came in?
Mick Potter. Potsy came in, and but it was. The main reason I went there is because of Sheens. Right, that was pretty much 95%. I hadn't even walked in and checked the facilities, but it didn't matter. Like I took it on and all that, but I was just like, wow, and even when I left and I sort of. I was on Fox and I was having my opinion. The fans took it personal. Like they thought this prick played like shit. He's walking out fucking kicking us while we're down. But I was actually, it was. I'm thinking, I'm having a bit of a crack, but it's also productive. Like, man, your facilities and just the way that you run things there, and from board down to the playing group, and I just couldn't believe my eyes compared to the other clubs I've been at. And lo and behold, mate, here we are now, and still, like, that was a long time ago, and they're just getting their shit together now. Like, so it's like, man, how you guys didn't see it at that time was it just spins me out.
And they've just won their first spoon as well, it happens.
Well, there you go,
So, they're getting their shit
as
together, right?
as a dirty merger club, it's their first spoon.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Balmain had a fair few, and Western Suburbs had a few.
But
you know what?
Powers combined.
The fans, like, honestly, the fans do deserve better because they got so many, like, incredible fans. Their fan base is huge. Like, it's massive.
Western Sub, like out near Norellan and Campbelltown, and
It's
massive out there.
massive, and they've just had nothing to cheer about lately, which is.
I had a mate go to the game yesterday, and I was just like, "Why the
At Leichhardt.
It was packed.
That's what's kind of impressive, isn't it? Is that like they still turn out?
Oh, did I read something that might be the last game of Leichhardt?
Yeah, I think it might be. I don't exactly know. I think it's Perrottet V'landys Stadium sort of bullshit. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
They do want to invest in the ground. I don't know the details either, but didn't Perrottet knock it on the head?
Yeah.
But then maybe they are going to invest now.
Well, then it was like,
Well, yeah, we're threatening to move the final, and then they didn't move the final, and
still
then
don't
no one
get
really
the
talks
money.
about it.
Don't want to talk about it. Let's leave
Now
it.
we're building like a fucking $600 million stadium at Penrith. I don't know. Weird.
We'll leave that there for the Tigers. Now, we want to talk a little bit of golf. President's Cup coming up, live exclusive on Fox Sports. Firstly, what's your handicap?
So I'm probably off 4 or 5.
Okay.
I haven't played in 4 months. The golfing it's over. I don't play anymore.
Why? Because you're too busy.
I'm too busy. I honestly don't have a spare day to go and play golf. I haven't for months. It's honestly the
It sounds like just something he
over.
knows his players are listening to it. I don't play golf anymore. I'm fucking
Does
swamped.
that depress you?
Yeah, well, the thing with golf is if you don't play for 4 months and then you go and play, that's depressing because it's a disaster. And then you go, fuck that, I'm not playing anymore. And then it turns into, because I used to play a lot, and you got to play once or twice a week, especially when you're off a low handicap. So I'm not even wanting to go back. But I know once I play and see a bit of improvement, I'll get the bug again. But I'm just not even close at the moment.
How do you make? What do you make of this? The Live Tour PGA, everything that's going on at the moment. Like, how do you view that situation?
It's been incredible. The Saudis just throwing money left, right, and centre. It's a huge power play. I think, I find it hard for any player to knock back $140 million. Like, until you're in that position, how can you even, contemplate?
It's absurd money.
It's absurd. Like Cameron Smith has earned $40 million, I think, over 10 years of a PGA tour, of his career. And rightly so, he would have made double that off it. So he'd be well and truly financially secure. You wouldn't think he'd have to worry about money. So that is the question is, but how much money do you want? But then, it's a tricky one. But I actually don't know where the end game is with the Saudis and the Live Golf Tour. I don't know where they want to land. It's not televised. It's on YouTube, so you can't even watch it.
I was going to ask that. I was like, I haven't seen it anywhere in terms of I don't know where you're going to try and see.
So they'll be searching for a rights deal, but I think they've got 14 tournaments or something next year, and majority of them are in the States. It's supposed to be a global kind of new tour.
Yeah.
But then you're not going to pick up a rights deal unless you've got a certain amount of games in the States. So I think they're learning on the run a bit here, but they're just throwing money left, right, and centre. And if you're a player, I mean, how can you not take the money that they're being offered? Like, it's been crazy.
Does that become a consideration for you then, managing golfers? About like, well, fuck, maybe we try.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't why we did it, but now we'd love to have a player on it.
That's what I mean, though, right? Like when you're trying to now plot the trajectory of a player's career, now you've got this other thing that you can be sort of considering.
Definitely.
Where aren't they also just getting paid out the arse to come dead last?
Well, yeah.
Well, if you're in a team that wins and you don't perform, but the team wins, and there was an Aussie that won like $1 million the other day.
There's there's a kid called Jed Morgan who he won the Australasian Order of Merit. So you got a start, you get Live Tour. no disrespect to Jeb, but he struggled, but he would have earned, I think he would have earned, definitely $500,000 to $1 million, like not even, literally finishing nearly last.
Sheesh.
Like, because there's no cut. Trav Smythe, I think he's earned close to $1 million and he hasn't finished anywhere. He's a guy I know really well, and good luck. Like, if you get on that tour, there's no cut, so there's no pressure to even make to kind of perform the first. Even though these guys are athletes and want to do their best, they're making big money to come nowhere. You know,
how does it affect? And I don't have really much of a visibility, but like the President's Cup.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's actually going to hurt us because our President's Cup, we don't have the depth that the Americans have got. I was looking at that. So apparently you can't play President's Cup if you're on the live, just like you can't play on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
So if that's, I was reading that this morning. So we lose Cam Smith, Leishman, Louis Oosthuizen, Matsuyama. Like they're our best players.
Yeah.
And they're actually playing really well. Well, Cam and Matsuyama, Leish is going all right. But the Americans, DJ's out of form even though he won the live this morning. Bubba's not playing well. Bryson's not playing well. All the guys that are deflected aren't really in that good a form. They've still got Justin Thomas, Spieth. Even Sam Burns is playing really good. Reed's out of form. He's going to live.
Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, they got a strong team and they're playing well. So Xander. I think it's going to hurt us if that's the case. If I'm the Aussies, I'm just picking them. Like, what does it mean? What does it matter to us?
Yeah, right.
Do they sanction the event, or is this like we want to get the PGA on side by?
They must sanction the event because else why would they be banned?
You'd be picking it 100%.
Yeah, the PGA must sanction. I don't know. It's a good point.
Who's the captain now? Do you know?
Was it Immelman? He's our captain?
Yeah.
Trevor or yeah?
I don't know. Do you reckon they'll ask Greg again?
Greg just lives. He runs his own race, mate. He's the big swinging dick, Greg.
Yeah, well, isn't he?
Literally,
isn't he? Quite literally.
What about that, mate? Mate, he's got everything. Everything. And he just adds the piece to it.
That photo was fucking hectic. I was like, surely he knew what was going on there when you posted that picture.
What do you reckon?
Well, I'd like to think that Greg, I didn't realise.
He'd been working on that for a few hours.
Yeah, no, there was blood in it. We all know there was blood.
It was prime.
He was prime.
It's great timing.
Have you any courses around the world? Have you played Augusta or anywhere like that? You got to any of those?
No, I haven't. I'm going to Augusta with Fox for the coverage next year. That was been my dream. So I'm really excited about that. I haven't because I just haven't travelled that much for golf. Obviously the Aussie's one of my favourites. New South Wales, the courses here, Royal Melbourne, Victoria. I've played. I haven't been down to Tassie to play the Barn Bugle and Lost Farm and all that. I haven't even been there. So I want to do that. I was planning a trip with a few of the boys after the season. So I'd like to get down to Tassie or something like that. But
so will you be able to play Augusta going over there for Fox? Like, is there any part of that where you're able to get around?
What happens is they put your hat in the ring and there's a certain amount that get pulled out every year from the journos. Last year, the boys who went from Fox played it.
Oh, so really?
They got picked up.
They got picked up.
Shit, so there's a chance that maybe it's not going 2 years in a row.
I don't know.
If it's luck.
Gowie might be able to help. He's got a few. Paul Gowie's got a few connections over there, and he goes every year.
You were going to say Craig Gower. I'm like, how the fuck's he got?
Fingers crossed. That'd be a dream.
That's a bucket list, right there.
Huge. I love my golf, and that'd be a dream come true for sure.
Nice. Well, mate, thank you so much for coming in. Like, really appreciate it. It's been great to talk to you. Obviously, text us with any cam updates if you want. It's fine.
No worries.
No rush,
I'll give you an update.
A call away.
Yeah.
Just a call away.
Mate, thanks again.
No worries, boys. It's been a pleasure.
Legend. Cheers.
On you, boys.
Could you two just not talk anymore?